There we go, now recording, there we go. So, I have been asked to actually make a recording of the replay, so I'm going to endeavour to do that, and not forget about doing it, so there we go, everybody can enjoy that. A lot of people have said that it's nice having the replays as a separate video as well, and I can't disagree with that. So, who we got here? We got Fenrir, good to have you, my friend. Alexander Schmiegel, Alexander Schmiegel, or something of that nature. How you doing there, my dude? My good friend Bavarian. John Murphy? Oh god, you're going to tell me more about cats, dogs, and blowing fish up with TNT. Apparently it's dynamite. How you doing there, Racer? Good to have you, my friend. Mr. AMMW. Indeed, it is going to be a gamble. How you doing there, Vulcan? Van Pubzel. That's an interesting name. Hello there, Anno. Yeah, we'll be getting going here shortly. I'm going to give people a little bit of time to get into the stream here. It is going to be a rather interesting turn. Possibly, who knows? Oh, I'm sweating like a pig in an abattoir. How you doing there, Rochi? Yeah, for everybody who is on the actual video right now, do go ahead and check out Commissar Rochi's channel there. Great dude. There's a lot of really awesome RPG stuff. Oh, you're doing Tabletop Night. Nice. How you doing there, George Kilgore? Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, definitely feeling the nerves, definitely feeling the anxiety. Give people a little bit longer to get in. To be fair, I have only just announced a stream randomly, so I suppose it is fair that I do that. Have you been on before? Good to have you, my dude. I don't remember most names, to a degree, but it's one of those. I'm not superhuman as of yet. Getting closer. Getting close. Okay. There we go. Yeah, we'll get the game going here then. There we go, and we shall reveal the screen. Yeah, I'm sorry about Alex, I'm gonna mispronounce that many a times. Don't know why it's doing that, but I'll be fine. Mustache wise. I don't even know if you're being serious or not. I don't even know if that's like... I think you're serious. You're quite a serious person, so I'm going to assume that is serious. Indeed, our soldiers shall win. Well, this could be interesting enough. Okay. So go ahead and take a look at the name of the save. So we're looking for 20. Why did you do a weird thing? I wonder what he means by that. I do wonder what he means by that. He might be referring to the actual bombing that we launched against, was it Tsingtao? No, it wasn't Tsingtao, was it? Was it Shangtan? I think it was Shangtan. I can't remember the name of the actual city that we bombed there. He could be referring to that. He could be referring to the fact that our troops are marching on Hengyang, which I've got to assume he knows about. I don't think there's a way he doesn't see that. Just due to the way the game works, due to the mechanics there. That's pretty good. Kaiserville, that's pretty awesome. What else could he be referring to? I'm gonna assume the bombing is Shangtan. Shangtan, I think it is. Right then, guys. If everybody could actually like the video, that would be much appreciated. Do let me know in the chat. Would you like me to get started now, or should we wait a little bit longer? Oh, I'm sorry, John. I didn't mean to wake her up. How you doing, 80? Good to have you, my friend. So, it's going to be an interesting one. We're not guaranteed success. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be facing when we cross into Hengyang. I'm just hoping that we've done as much as we absolutely can, and yeah. There might be Chinese reinforcements that we didn't see. It's hard to say, really. It's, yeah, I can feel my hands sweating. As I said earlier, sweating more than a pig at an abattoir. So, oh, the anxiety is growing. So we'll go ahead and we'll get started then. It could be a very, very important turn, but we'll see, we'll see. I think even if things go wrong, it's not a huge deal due to the fact that we are sending a few forces, we're not sending a humongous force. It's not like the Battle of Changsha, where the numbers are so large that even minor casualties is still equivalent to a division. But we'll see here then. We still have a way to go before the actual land phase anyhow. Yeah, rip it off like a band-aid. Oh, it's just where there was some sort of issue with the game. I don't know what it is. It happens every now and then. So we do land then. We do immediately take the base, which is actually very nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens as well. Oh, I see there, John. That's rather interesting. Right, reacting to task forces. Well, the task forces reacting to submarines over there. I didn't know that pigs didn't sweat that much, actually, so that's rather interesting to know. A cow and abattoir? We'll go with that one then. You've ruined my joke now. Okay, so we do have our forces merging there. And that's... Yes! Oh, yes, that's a nice target. Submarine tender. That is very nice, a hit there. So I-157 starts us off here. Then we've landed our torpedo, hit into the Zuda... Kuris? I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm going to assume there's a Dutch ship there. How you doing there, Steins? Good to have you, my friend. And that's a good way to start out there. Submarine attack near Osthaven. Moonlight's still very low here at this moment in time, so that could be a good... And she goes down immediately, which is very nice. So we do see further mergers over here. Yeah, looks like she's made it into truck, so that's excellent news. So that was the fuel that has just arrived back at truck now, which is excellent. So that means that we'll have the fuel in the future to actually use truck once again, as we did empty it out pretty much. Sea Raven attacking the destroyer minesweeper over here. Torpedo boat and destroyer destroyer minesweeper W19 engaging Sea Raven. So this would be our actual submarine tender heading into the port then at Balikpapan. Yeah, as you can see Chogai there. Would have been rather unfortunate to have Chogai suffer a torpedo hit, but there we go. Okay. Launching against the destroyer there. We have put out a good number of ASW task forces around Kandari. There are only about 10 mines at Kandari, but I suppose it's better to have some mines than none at all. There's every chance that you might run into them. So we do have an ASW attack, but no luck, no dice. Okay. Fast transporters unloading over here. I'm hoping there's no opposition, otherwise it'd be rather annoying. But that was a few men aboard a torpedo boat actually that landed over there. The sheer amount of time it took to load them on there was actually rather amazing. Good few days actually, which is surprising. There we go, rather quiet night phase there. Moving into the day phase. So we do see additional forces around here, as the ASW task forces come to grips with the submarines in the area. Now the good news is, we know he's there, and I'm going to look towards having the Ki-48s potentially deal with those. Right, okay, again, they do miss. There's a good number of actual, a good number of submarines in that area. The sooner we can get into Balikpapan, the better, really. It looks like we might be able to get past the majority of them. A little bit of damage calls, though, which is quite nice. I'm very glad that I gave him the DMS. The Chogai, the DMS escort. So, a little bit of damage. It would be nice to have a direct hit, but it's not to be, it seems. But, yeah, even a light bit of damage there can be quite nice. Adds up over time. So we came in down here, we've been attacked once, so we've, there's a good number of submarines in this area. So that's very nice. I mean, I believe these are deep waters as well, and our ASW isn't that effective early game as well, as you say, they're salty. Right, so moving into the air phase in the AM. Okay. Supposedly allied ships spotted. 2 allied ships there. Looks like we might be able to... We did have a submarine interception set up in that area there. Crux of Southern Cross. Oh, that's really interesting. Right, so we have our aircraft attacking out here against these submarines. I don't know why he's so adamant in having submarines over here. True, he's had some success, but it's really not worth it, because I'm able to use my aircraft to hit him here. Right, still having... still seeing task forces Buswanga. We will be sending a few destroyers to go ahead and deal with them shortly. Then I'll probably put some aircraft onto attack as well. Right, so we've seen a few missions cancelled due to poor weather. Okay. Right, so there are forces moving, and he's moving from Changsha. I had hoped he wouldn't, but this is going to be a big turn. We shall see. He has delayed by potentially a day, and that could make all the difference there. We are seeing him move out to Changsha. We will have a bombardment at Changsha. Right, we're sweeping over here with the A-62s as we reveal the might of the Japanese Air Force in China. Zero's flying overhead here, sweeping these bases. Pretty much unnecessary, but I wanted to be dead sure. But it's also a good demonstration of air power within China. So we are moving in here. We have our bombers uncontested and they approach Hengyang. flying in at 3,000 feet here, dropping their bomb load. So we have 41 Oscars, sorry, 18 Oscars, 41 K-27s, 19 Sonoyas, 9 30Ms, 24 Sallys, and 20 Idas to begin with here. The Paras drop today. There we go. I'm going to hope that they can cause a good amount of... wow, that's pretty good there. So we have 246 to begin with. We do have more bombers coming in now. So 1 destroyed, 13 disabled, 13 disabled. We also get, I believe, an idea of what is actually in the hex here. Okay, so we see 56, 46. So there are 2 Chinese cores over here. So, ooh, he may have 300... it's maybe 300 or 400 AV per core. So he might have 600 to 800 AV here. Give or take, but the good news is, as far as I can tell, there's no additional reinforcements in from what was already sighted there, which is good. Yeah, coordination's okay. There will be more aircraft going in then, ideally. Okay, more bombers over Bataan. Over Bataan, we do have purposely poor coordination, the reason being to actually cause more AA. Right, okay, we are upping the amount of bombers going in over Singapore. We will steadily increase this and increase this over time. We'll see, we'll see. The thing is, we knew that was there was at least a core or 2 there, but we'll see how we go. How you doing there, Imperial Fist? Good to have you, my friend. So we have additional bombers going in here, another 28 Sonoyas, and we have another 8 Sallys, bomb in Hengyang. So, it looks like movement across the board, movement over here. Stable here, I'm not seeing any assets over here as of yet, as to whether they'll be showing right now. Okay, so it's another 134 casualties cores, so we're up to 300 to 400 right now. That's a good few disabled. It would be nice to have more destroyed, but at the end of the day, this is more disabled. It doesn't particularly matter as they're going to be fighting to defend the Hex anyway. So we have the 12th Group Army. So at least that is 1 unit, that's the headquarters, okay, so that's going to help him out to a degree there. But we can see there is the 11th Base Force, the 12th, yeah, 12th, yeah, so 12th and 11th Base Force. So we have the 56 Chinese Corps and the 46 Chinese Corps, and the Army and the Base Force in there. Okay, interesting. Oh, that's a shame there, John. Right, more bombers coming in here. Now, we will have a bombardment at Changsha, so I'm hoping that his forces, if they're in movement mode, that should cause more damage. So we're up to maybe 460-ish right about now. We're going to keep up the air power, I think, at Hengyang, potentially. We'll see how things turn out, really. Right, more noise coming in. They did have to move, but the thing is, I couldn't have had them any other way. Obviously, they're at their max range, but it's one of those of, they are still flying in. And they're still making it there, so that's fine by me. I'd rather have them than not have them. And we do have them, which is nice. There may be additional aircraft to land, well, to hit the base over there, but we'll see. Yeah, we have been running detection level over there for a long time. It seems he's finally reacted, which is really interesting. Okay, we're moving into the air operations of the PM. Apparently 4 Allied ships sighted around there. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, but he... Right, so we see those 2 ships once again. It's interesting, but he actually responds by sending forces now. It could be potentially too late. But we'll see. I think it means that we know what's in Hengyang now, so that means that we have 1 day where we're only going against him, so that's going to be really good. They probably will arrive the day after, perhaps, but we'll see about that. But the good news is we'll have some additional reinforcements in that sort of time frame as well. The armor will approach as well. Yeah, Para's going in the land phase, I do believe. If I remember correctly, I think that's when you see it happen. Yeah, me too, Ben Eric. Good to have you, my friend. Good to have you. Can everybody like the video while we're in here as well? It does help the channel grow. Would appreciate that. And if you're new here, perhaps consider subscribing as well. Right, so we do see a number of ships over at Osthaven, which is interesting. Okay, here we go. Air transport phase. Aircraft landing. Right, okay. Big turn. Big turn. Right, Selfish over here. Being engaged. Yeah, they're mostly here just to make sure that these submarines don't have free reign. The good news is we do have attenders in position at Wakanai now, and we also do have the air power, so we'll eventually cause them damage. Right, okay, so RO-67 is engaging over here at Wallace Island. Right, okay, so she was sighted by escort, but she decided to bottom out and abandon the actual attack there. We do have another submarine that may make the attack there, so that's going to be rather interesting. Right, okay. No dice. Right, so we do have Kamano and her sister ships bombarded at Wankao. Marching north. It's going to be interesting to see whether we see a Chinese attack over here. But we are going to be marching on Nanyang shortly as well. I don't know why we're such... actually, I may reduce the yards here. I'll speed this one up. Interesting that actually bombarding during the day. Usually they bombard at night, actually. There we go. So that's actually much better. 387 casualties caused there. Very nice. So 1 destroyed, 13 disabled, 5 destroyed, 25 disabled, 1 destroyed, 3 disabled. That's very good. So you can see we do cause quite a lot of damage. So it is more effective in the day. It's rather odd, folks. Like, normally they arrive here during the night. Moving forward, amphibious invasion over here as we land one of these bases. There we go. And over here as well. There we go. Moving into the land phase. Right, here we go. We have a bombardment at Changsha. Yep, our forces have arrived, so we will see them take the bases ideally in the next phase. It looks like there's nothing here as well, so it has... It seems seemingly it is going to be a success, which is fantastic. So we can see that we do have a number of armies over here. It's going to be really interesting. If he's moving out now, ideally if he's in movement mode, then we will see him potentially suffer more casualties. But the interesting thing is how much force is he going to take out of this area? If he takes out too much, then Changsha shall fall. But the good news is it's not a situation where we have to defeat him on the field of battle. It's more so about defeating him in the field of logistics here. The more he fights, and this is the truth here, the more he fights, the weaker he becomes, and once he gets past that critical threshold of actually the amount of supplies that he has in the area and in his units himself, in themselves, he's going to be fighting at 1/3 effectiveness. So what we're going to be doing here then is trying to actually corral him and try and bully him into a position that we want him in. It's unfortunate that we see forces moving from Changte, but I don't believe it was anything very large over there, just maybe a few base forces. But with the paratroopers arriving at Chikiang and Taiyuan, that is going to stop them. Ideally anyway, but they're going to have to move out to this hex over here and try to take that and then move north. Yeah. I'm hoping that this bombardment will be effective. I'm keeping this going just for the time being, just so I can actually discuss what's going on here. I had hoped he would remain in Changsha, but it's going to be interesting to see how many forces how much force is actually pulling out here. As far as I can tell, this unit, it might be moving over here to Shangtan. I think this is Shangtan. Or I can't remember exactly what it's called. Shaoyang, I think it is. So it looks as if he's marching over there. These forces are marching back over here. We know there's actually a good effective force there, but if we can take this, or at least have a good shot at taking this. The first attack is going to be the worst due to the fact it is a shock attack across the river. But at least the turn after we would have a reinforcement division, and then I believe sometime, it might be the turn after that where they have the armor arrive. But we will have a lot of forces converging here, and more reinforcements will be arriving daily. We'll obviously have the air power concentrated here to actually help support us. We'll have more fighters available. We will have the additional Ki-43-1C Oscars from Langson able to actually help and intervene in the skies over China. So we're going to speed this up. I'm hoping that we can cause a good few casualties. I'm hoping that we can cause a decent bit of a disruption. But I'm hoping that we will be able to force him to use some additional supply with the counter-battery fire. Wow, it's been a long time since we had a bombardment at Changsha. It's been a long time since we had any major fight in this area. Yeah, but I'm going to assume this is base force. From what I remember, there wasn't very much over here. But the thing is, this is ×3 terrain, if I recall correctly, and he wouldn't be running a shock attack over here as well. Yeah, Changtai. There we go. This takes a long time, even with speeding things up. So it's going to take a little bit of time just to sneak a drink of coffee. It's going to be interesting to see what the results are here as well, actually. Okay, so we suffer 88 casualties, but we cause 417 casualties here. 8 squads are destroyed, 19 disabled, 1 destroyed, 2 disabled, 1 destroyed, 1 disabled. 6 guns are removed, 1 destroyed, 5 disabled. Right, so we don't get any actual details about this due to the fact that it's a, well, it's not a deliberate attack. We do see the number of Chinese units over there. It's hard to say what movement mode is in. Had this been like a deliberate attack, we would have had a proper idea. We can see that it has 4,326 assault value over here, 800 guns. Okay, so we do have a measurement of how many troops he actually has here and roughly the amount of AV. So moving on forward, so we have the bombardment attack at Wankao. So we're looking to keep on whittling down the 100th Chinese Corps, and it is going to be done in time. It's going to take some time, of course, as we know, but each bombardment will bring us progressively closer. So it's going to be really intriguing to see how much force it brings out here, because this is it. We have really drawn the line of the sand over here. The thing is, how many troops can he actually pull out of Changsha before he thinks, right, okay, if I pull out more, I'm going to lose the city of Changsha. And the thing is, I don't expect us to have to fight to take Changsha per se, and I don't particularly want to do that per se. It might be during this turn that we actually have divisions march south over here, which would be, it'd be preferable if we could make it there sooner, but we'll see and see what we can manage. So we have our bombardment of Wankao, pretty much equal there. Okay, so we have a deliberate attack over here against the Manadao garrison. Hopefully we can force them to surrender here today. 3-1 odds, 12, 4. They continue to retreat. Yeah, we do have a lot of guns. So, no casualties suffered, and we inflict 142 casualties, 4 destroyed, 30 destroyed. There we go. I'm trying to wipe out that unit. Yeah, you can see that they have no supply. I could probably have them march back over here. They're in a rough position now, so it's going to take them a good few days to move anywhere. We have our... right, okay, he's actually going with a allied bombardment attack at Batanban. So I will reform those divisions to a complete package. But I expected this to happen, and this is actually quite a good thing, because he's going to cause us damage. But the thing is, even if it pushes us out of Batan, it's actually going to work to our advantage, because this is only going to speed up the siege over here. If he pushes us over here to Clark Airfield, we do have a train advantage, and we also have fortifications and supply. This is using supply, and it's not really going to do him too good. He'll probably cause quite a few casualties. Yeah, so he manages to inflict 400 casualties here, quite a lot disabled. So pretty good exchange rate for him over here, but the thing is, he's using supply. So what I'll do is I'll reform those divisions. That's probably why they took more damage there. But disabled is fine. I've only lost a single gun. Those troops can be recovered. If he decides to attack, well, that's going to come against him. Okay, that's an allied shock attack over... Okay, yeah, that's going to hurt. That's actually quite a lot of forces over here, then, so they seem to have decent strength. So I can imagine this unit's going to get pretty beaten up, but we do have our forces over here at Xinjiang. But the thing is, if he's marching down here towards Xinjiang, we do have our main army approaching Nanyang, so he could leave himself in a pretty horrific position. So they retreat towards Xinjiang. We suffer 2,000 casualties there. He suffers an equal 2,363 casualties there. That's actually oh, right, okay, so he's still low on supply. But this is actually quite fantastic. So you can see that even with 4 corps, he's actually taken more casualties against a Japanese regiment. And these are equivalent to divisions, more or less. A corps is equivalent to a division. The thing is, there was meant to be a 2nd infantry regiment over here, but that's fine. It's going to be still in Xinjiang. But we do have our forces moving over here, so it's good to know that this is 4 corps. But we do have the actual army of the north over here as well, so that's going to be marching and take Nanyang. And if it takes Nanyang, he's going to be really up shit creek, as he's not going to have a supply source over here. Obviously, he'll be able to have supply reaching from other places, but not from Nanyang. So that's good to see. We can see that he does have issues with supply here. Definite issues with supply. Right, so we have the shock attack over here at Chikyang as the paratroopers of the 2nd Raiding Regiment arrive here. Banzai! Chikyang falls to our paratroopers, and with that we secure the first base as part of our plan here. The Yokosuka Furnace left dropping into Taiyuan, surprising the actual civilians here to seize the base. No, he was low on supply. Oh, it was I the defender? Oh, sorry, I must have misread that. But that's fine then, it must be just that unit that had low supply. Forgive me for that one, misread that one. Okay, so we do capture Taiyuan as well, so Taiyuan and Chikayan has fallen. Where's the Battle of Hengyang? Is there no Battle of Hengyang due to the AV? It may be that there's no battle. Yeah, that's fine, I misread that one. But I'm still happy about that one. It's not that we have a bad supply situation, it's just a bad supply in that unit there, so that was me misreading it. So, I think we're in Hengyang, but we have no Battle of Hengyang indeed. So that could mean that we actually have the amount of AV required to actually get across the river without triggering a shock attack. And that's gonna be really, really huge if that's true. It should be no reason as to why they haven't gone across. We'll take a look at that as soon as we're going to look at it. I've still not seen anything over here, but we're still not seeing our troops, so I think they are in position there, so we'll take a look. Oh god. Right, okay, so what we're going to do then is take an immediate look at Hengyang. Oh, fuck, what is going on here? They haven't made it. Fuck. How did they not make it? 4 miles. Okay. Well, that's it's a setback. I don't know why they didn't make it. So there, Rochi. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to bring the replay to an end here. So 2 seconds.